Welcome to the first video in Oberlin Violin Studio's tutorial series. Today we're learning Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and here's how it works. In Chapter 1, I'm going to go through the piece note by note so you know exactly how to play it, with some practicing tips so that you can learn it as quickly as possible with the least amount of practicing pain. In Chapter 2, I'm going to play it all the way through very slowly at practice tempo so you can follow along. When you're ready, at Chapter 3, I'll play it up to tempo. In Chapter 4, I'm going to play it with the piano accompaniment. And lastly, in Chapter 5, I'm going to play just the piano accompaniment so that you can be the soloist and basically have your own backing track built in. By the way, if you're just getting started on violin, it helps to have some nice big notes. And this one comes with all of my fingerings. So if you would like to download it, you can do so for free through the link in the description below. Lastly, these tutorial videos are published as YouTube premieres. That means a new video will be released every Saturday, and if you're there at the time that it's released, I'll be live in the comments answering any questions you might have as you watch the video. Check out my notes in the description for the most up-to-date timing of those premieres. I'm going to start with my violin up on my shoulder in good position. So my scroll is horizontal with my nose, and it's facing right about 45 degrees left of the center of my body. So you don't want it accidentally going out this way because it'll make it really hard to have a straight bow. So we want it to be 45 degrees. We're going to use the first, second, and third tapes. And I always teach Twinkle in A major, so we're going to use just the A string and the E string for this piece. Let's take a look with the overhead camera. Your highest string on the violin is your open E string. We're going to use that string and the one right next to it, which is our A string. We're going to use our first tape, second tape, and third tape corresponding to our fingers 1, 2, and 3. And you'll use those on both the A string and the E string. So we're going to get started on the A string. Okay, as you do this, I want you to challenge yourself to use whole bows and try practicing in front of a mirror if you can to make sure that your bow is actually exactly parallel with your bridge. The main thing you can do to get better sound on your instrument if you're struggling with sound like this, the main thing you can do is straighten that bow. So we start with 2 open A's. Okay, now let's pause there. We're going to pivot quietly over to the E string and play 2 E's. Now place your first finger down on the E string. Now lift that first finger and play open E. Now we stop there. We quietly pivot over to the A string, placing our third finger all by itself on the A string. Now place your second finger on the second finger tape and lift your 3. Place your first finger on the first finger tape and then lift your 2. Now lift your 1 and play open A. Notice how I asked you to place your second finger down first before you lift your 3. That's really important. We call that overlapping fingers, and it will significantly help you to have a much cleaner sound. If you lift your fingers first, you might get some extra notes in between. Anything like that. So instead, practice with your third finger, then place your second finger, lift your third, and then play the note. And then same with your first finger. Place your first finger, lift your second finger, then play the note. Just playing that third and fourth measure, starting with the 3 on the A string, which is an up bow. Now place your second finger down and then lift your 3. Place your first finger down and then lift your 2. And now lift all your fingers. Nice! Let's go on to the second line. Now we're going to start with a down bow on the E string, open E. Now place your third finger down on the A string and pivot over to the A string with your bow. Now place your second finger down and lift your 3. Oh, did that scale feel familiar? We just did that in the first line. So that's helpful. Now we play exactly that much again. 3 on the A. Now 2 on the A. And here we go. The last line sounds exactly like the first line. So we start with open A. Now 2 open E's. Now 1 on the E string. Open E. Now place your third finger on the 3 tape on the A string and then pivot your bow over to the A string. Again, you should be right at the point here. Try to use whole bows. Now place your 2, lift your 3. Place your 1 and lift your 2. And now open A. For the piano accompaniment, I'm going to play the first 2 full measures, and then the violin comes in. like and subscribe if this video helps you, and join me on Saturday mornings.